We're not in a position to give you an exact time. It was at some point prior to when the surveillance was taken, as the investigation progressed to a point where search warrants could be obtained, and the probable cause for those search warrants and an arrest warrant, a fugitive from justice warrant based on the arrest warrant out in Idaho were obtained. We began to take the tactical steps to plan to serve them.
Were you collecting evidence prior to his arrest?
At this point, like we said, it's very much pertinent to what's in the affidavits, which we cannot speak about.
What's it about his demeanor when the arrest actually happened?
Present sense impression, as likewise ongoing investigation, can't discuss it.
So that means that when they said that Kohberger mentioned if anyone else was arrested, that did not came out of Pennsylvania officials. So I believe even that one statement is false. It seems that statement of Kohberger saying if anyone else were arrested besides him, I believe that narrative, I believe that comment was created. Because again, it seems right here very clear that Pennsylvania authorities was not trying to share no type of information about the arrest of the demeanor of the suspect. So I believe they wouldn't share that information with the media. So I believe the media, the news media outlets, they invented that he said that.
How is Kohberger being transported back to Idaho?
Those arrangements are being discussed right now, as well as the logistics. The court order says, those of you who heard it today, it's within the next 10 days. So we're currently working on that in coordination with authorities out in Idaho. Sir, I can't comment. I don't know.
Is he being held in the Monroe County jail until he's extradited, or is he removed to another?
No, he is lodged in the, since he was dropped off there Friday morning, he's resided in Monroe County Prison.
Still, until he's
Correct, yes.
extradited, he'll be there. Are the marshals holding him, or which group?
At this point, that's still being coordinated between the state police and the authorities out there. We don't know.
Will the affidavit be unsealed when he arrives in Idaho?
I don't want to speak out of my lane. When I watched the press conference on Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I was alerted to the fact that according to Idaho state law, that the affidavits have to be served to him once he's extradited back before they could be unsealed.
Did he say has anyone else been arrested?
Ongoing investigation.
Has the motive been determined?
So Bryan Kohberger did not know why he was arrested for until he got to Idaho. Wow.
I can't comment on that either. I apologize.
Who transports him, sir? Does Pennsylvania State Police, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department?
He's presently back. He was transported from the courthouse by Monroe County Sheriff, and the logistics of who's going to transport him out to Idaho are still being discussed. We don't know. Yeah.
Can you confirm the time of his arrest and how much law enforcement presence there actually was?
I would say it was in the early morning hours of Friday, December 30th. Tactical assets on scene were probably in the neighborhood of 50.
Were you afraid he was going to get tipped off before you got him?
I would say overall about this entire operation, and the credit goes, this is a part that the state police played humbly.
December 30th. My personal opinion, this was not lawful at all. Too quick, too unorganized. It took a few days, like to a week, to get all these done. And skipping process of extradition, because this process I'm gonna show to you they were supposed to take.
You look at Moscow Police Department, 38 sworn, 19,000 leads, the video evidence that they had to develop in order to put that out, all public source information. But when you talk about the service of a high-risk warrant for someone who's committed or alleged to have committed 4 homicides, there's nothing routine about that. And all of those tactical steps that were taken were in conjunction with the best efforts of the authorities, local, state, and federal, both in Idaho and here, to ensure that we could do it safely and to ensure that we could get him into custody and that those service or the search warrants could occur.
Sir, can we ask a question of the first assistant district attorney? Mr. Mancuso, you described having read to a degree the contents of that affidavit of probable cause, and that you possibly speculated or theorized that he wanted to get back to read that as well, since he can't read that. Can you give us an indication, though, of the seriousness of what you did read? I know you can't talk about it, but can you share with us something?
Yeah, I can't get into the details, sir, but I can say it involved the defendant's connection to a scene of a crime consisting of 4 murdered people. So that's the significance of it.
Can you confirm that there is a connection?
So he read the affidavit, right? And this guy saying that the reason why he pushed the arrest warrant was Bryan Kohberger connections to the crime scene. How? When even at this moment, it's not even confirmed that that DNA was Bryan Kohberger. What? This don't make no sense, dude. Come on, listen, man. If this guy read the affidavit, this is why I believe this guy is just gassing. Like, he didn't read nothing. Because if he did, he wouldn't have no warrant for an arrest on a Kohberger. Especially Kohberger being a Pennsylvania resident. It makes no sense. He did not protect Kohberger's rights, if you ask me.
Connection between Bryan Kohberger and any of the victims?
I can't discuss that.
How confident are you that he is guilty of his crimes?
You
That
look
wouldn't
so
be
shady.
my place to say. Certainly confident enough that there was ample probable cause for the issuance of the various warrants in the case.
What was your reaction?
He said that it was amplest probable cause for him to push the search warrants and the arrest warrant. Wow. They did not protect Kohberger at all. Wow. This is complicit right here. This is why I believe that Ann Taylor could get Kohberger out. Because again, my firm belief that this guy is innocent due to the same things that they doing. That's why I'm taking the conclusion that Kohberger is innocent and he's being framed by authorities because the shit that they doing. I'm not taking this conclusion with no action. This is my reaction of this action. These do not look legal at all whatsoever. It's a lot of face value and a lot of no burgers making a burger. This is weird. Like, how can the government, well, let me retract that, because we've seen it before, the government maliciously framing people. This is something that it has happened before. But I believe that Pennsylvania dropped the ball ensuring that Idaho had actually something with weight. They would have to get Kohberger back to Idaho. Even if Kohberger wants to keep the extradition to get to the bottom of it, this is the guy that's supposed to make sure that whatever is on that paperwork has weight in court. How he see plenty when at the time of this press conference, DNA is not even confirmed. What else they have? Nothing else. Nothing else. How can he say that there was any type of connection when he's known? It is none. At this day to day of what we know is no connection. How can he even said that? That's why I told you this guy was looking shady, deceiving, very, very body language, all awkward. You could see right here. I don't even have to be an expert on body language to see that this guy over here is gassing.
And you've heard this, you've all talked about, and you followed this. This happened states away. When you get that call, or you all get the call, that this person could be right here in your home area, what's your reaction?
Well, I was surprised, really, Monroe County of all places. It hits close to home. It's a normal human reaction, I would think, under the circumstances.
Do you know when he and his father left Idaho or Washington and drove to Pennsylvania, what that date was?
No, I don't know the exact date.
Approximately, we understand the middle of December, is that correct?
I think that's approximate.
And what about, we heard reports that they were stopped not once but twice on the highway. Could you elaborate?
I'll defer to his Pennsylvania public defender on that.
Do you have reason to believe that Kohberger is connected to other crimes and unsolved mysteries in the area?
I wouldn't answer that question at this time.
When you start looking at some that may be unsolved, where do you move around?
That would be a normal thing to do.
Question for the BSB here. Said he was taken without incident. Was it safe to say that, I shouldn't say it's safe to say, but did it seem like he was expecting?
I wouldn't comment on what his present sense was. I would just comment that the professionalism of the CERT team and their
This is confirmation of the state not wanting to give a demeanor or information of what he could have said at the moment. This is why we believe that the narrative of Kohberger saying if anyone else is being arrested was made up by the media. This is our confirmation.
tactical training definitely proved in a situation like this to do it in the most tactically sound and fastest way possible.
Was there anybody else in the house at the time?
His parents were in the house at the
Did
time.
they say anything to you?
Again, present sense impression. I can't comment on that ongoing investigation.
You break down the door.
Force was used. The warrants were issued for evening search warrants, which in Pennsylvania requires additional probable cause in order to serve them at the hours of darkness. I would defer to the first.
From where y'all got this probable cause? With what? What indicates you that this man needed to be arrested and brought back to Idaho? What?
First assistant to talk about the legal burden that you bear in order to obtain those. But from a tactical standpoint, based upon all of the briefings that we had developed and all of the intelligence we had developed, we thought that was the best time to serve it.
And what tipped off that Pennsylvania was involved with this?
They were alerted by the FBI, troopers in the Bureau of Criminal Investigation.
The FBI.
On like his social media pages that tipped anything?
I can't comment. I don't know. Can't comment. Ongoing, like I said. State Police's role here was to serve the warrants and assist with the surveillance, which we've done. We've been part of major investigations. These are men and women who take an oath to protect their communities and the Commonwealth here. We're very humbled with the opportunity that we had.
Yeah, but you dropped the ball because you didn't protect the Kohberger, making sure that whatever Idaho brought to the table, it was substantial for you to arrest this guy. Y'all needed to make sure of that. And y'all didn't.
Given a case that has really gained international attention to play a small part in it.
International
And our hats off to,
attention.
Moscow PD, again, with
Y'all heard
the
that.
size and the complexity of this investigation and the work that they've done to get us here today. And this is only the beginning of the next step.
If it's determined that anyone here in Pennsylvania either helped to conceal or dispose of any evidence, then you would be a part of this case, or would it go to?
I would say that we would pledge whatever support we can for ongoing investigations with the Idaho authorities here in Pennsylvania. Absolutely. We would help them in any way we could.
Were there any weapons found in the home?
I don't want to get into what was actually seized in the house pursuant to the evidentiary nature of it.
Can you give any insight into why you all decided to go in overnight to make the arrest?
Those are tactical decisions in terms of base surveillance. I don't want to give out too many tactical factors that go into that situation, but obviously surveillance was conducted and we wanted to go in at a time when we thought it would be the safest for everybody, safest for anybody else in the house, safest for Mr. Kohberger, and safest for our people.
There was an interesting question asked earlier about the care that needed to be taken to not tip the suspect off. Could you describe how long that lid had to be on things and how many people were involved in it? Like how many people knew and for how long?
So I would say, I would answer the question this way. I don't want to get into a timeline in terms of when we were notified by the FBI and when the surveillance began. Obviously, we know on Thursday night into Friday morning is when the warrants were served. I would say, as a credit to the professionals, both standing behind me and others not here, many others not here, the information was held very close. And we did not want to have any situation where Mr. Kohberger potentially would be tipped off. So as a result of that, I would say a close number of approximately 7 to 8 individuals, maybe 10 on the most within the PSP side of this operation knew about it.
And for days, can we say? Or?
I would say for a period of time. I would not feel comfortable commenting any more than that for a period of time. And then as the tactical assets were brought in, people were briefed.
When the movement plan is finally decided, will there be an announcement? Will
Not from the state police, so we would defer to Moscow and the authorities in Idaho.
when he starts leaving Pennsylvania?
Well, we have security concerns now, obviously, to move any prisoner. Anytime you move somebody from a secure prison to another place, we don't want, there won't be an announcement from the state police in terms of those logistics, but they're being worked on right now.
Can you give us your best guess when you think he might be moved roughly? Tomorrow?
We would like to do it as soon as possible, but the court order says 10 days. We have 10 days to coordinate it.
Can you potentially be on a plane tonight? Is it possible he could be on a plane tonight? That's a possibility, right?
I would think that's probably not likely.
Private plane?
Having on the airplane that same day.
We're
What?
looking into that right now.
Can you confirm or deny that
Come
the window was
on.
broken in order to gain access into the home?
There were multiple windows that were broken, I believe, to gain access, as well as multiple doors. I think the video of the house after the fact confirms that. And that would all be part of the tactical plan based on the floor plan of the house, etc.
So they just said that it was multiple windows broken to get access to the residence. And the video will assess that. So that means it's video of the search warrant and the warrant for an arrest. So they did have video of it. Ding, 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 ding.